I thought I was just visiting my son's new clinic to see the progress, until I saw the receptionist glance at me like I didn't belong, and a patient walk out with a folder stamped with the logo I'd funded. $340,000 I sent. And that's when I realized the grand opening had already happened without me, and every payment I'd made was suddenly a trail I had to follow before it was too late. I drove 40 minutes that Friday, gripping the wheel like it was holding answers I wasn't going to lose. The clinic looked complete, polished, almost too perfect. The sign above the door was streaked with rain stains, corners dulled from weather, proof that the grand opening had already happened without me. I held the invoice my daughter-in-law had forwarded that morning, payment due before opening day. I stared through the glass doors at the receptionist. She glanced up once, then back to her computer, like she didn't notice me. And suddenly, the cold twist of being edged out hit my chest. I remembered the first calls from my son, Trevor, voice messages brimming with excitement, photos of therapy tables still wrapped in plastic, drywall going up, tiny updates he thought I'd enjoy. Then Renata took over. Calls got shorter, then texts, then just invoices, numbers without words. I told myself it was normal. Sons grow up, businesses get busy, mothers get avoided. But there's a difference between stepping back and being edged out, and that line was blurring fast. Through the clinic windows, I saw people moving with clipboards, plants and framed prints arranged perfectly, the front desk polished. One patient exited clutching a branded folder with the clinic logo. Printing, planning, and preparation had happened without me. My throat tightened, but I said nothing. On the drive home, the maple tree in my yard had already turned red leaf by leaf. I counted 6 seconds before lowering my hand, trying to steady the storm inside me. That night, I called Trevor. 3 rings, then voicemail. The next morning, 2 rings, then voicemail again. I placed the phone down carefully, like it might crack under my gaze. Something didn't add up. I made a decision. I wouldn't confront blindly. I would follow the paper trail. Every invoice, every transfer, every forwarded email, I would know the story behind each number. Numbers don't lie. People do. And when I untangled them, I would be ready for whatever truth waited. If you've ever had that nagging feeling something was off but couldn't prove it yet, type "noticed it" in the comments. I want to know I'm not the only one who pays attention to the little details before disaster hits. Tuesday morning, I walked into the clinic and felt the air thicken. Trevor sat behind the desk, shifting nervously. Renata leaned against the window, arms crossed, eyes sharp, but there was panic just beneath the surface. I placed my folder on the desk and opened it to the first highlighted page, letting them look at it before speaking. Trevor tried to smile. "Mom, I didn't expect." "I expected nothing," I said. "I expected numbers, transfers, invoices, consulting fees, signed approvals, ownership disclosures." Renaya's hand hovered over the folder. Trembling slightly, she asked, "Numbers?" "Yes, numbers," I said. For 11 months, the money I sent for the clinic went to a consulting company, one I never approved, totaling over $30,000. Trevor's jaw tightened as he opened the packet. Renata exhaled sharply. "It was for business consulting," she said. "And where are the authorizations?" I asked. "Every payment over $5,000 requires approval, signed, documented. You disclosed nothing and left my son exposed and me blind." Trevor swallowed. "Mom, I didn't—" "You didn't what?" I asked. "Notice? Ask? Protect me? Protect the clinic?" Numbers don't lie, Trevor. People do. I slid the lease across the desk. "Read carefully. Who's personally liable for this clinic? You and I both know the risk. Now face it." Trevor leaned forward, whispering, "I'm on the hook alone." "Yes, and now you know. Here's what we're doing. Repayment schedule. Signed approvals on every expense over $5,000. Transparency, accountability. No exceptions. I'll be watching. Actions, not words." Renata trembled, caught between defiance and compliance. Finally, Trevor nodded, quiet, accepting the gravity. Silence pressed down like a storm. If you've ever uncovered a betrayal and stayed calm enough to let proof do the talking, type proof first in the comments. I want to know I'm not the only one who pays attention to the little details before disaster hits. Tuesday morning, the clinic smelled sharp. Bleach, new paint, false cleanliness masking tension. I placed my folder on the desk and opened it to the highlighted pages. Trevor sat rigid, fingers tapping the desk. Renata leaned against the window, arms crossed, eyes sharp, but there was panic just beneath the surface. I want to go over everything, I said, voice low but firm. Every transfer, every invoice, every consulting fee, step by step. Who approved it, why, and I want proof. Trevor rubbed his forehead. Mom, No explanations, I interrupted. Evidence, or we escalate. Not later, not eventually, now. Renata's hand hovered over the folder. Legal? It's just consulting fees. $30,000 over 11 months paid without disclosure. That's misappropriation, not consulting, and you both know it. Trevor shifted uncomfortably, unsure whether to defend his wife or admit fault. Renata's eyes flicked to him, warning silently, but I ignored it. I've drafted a repayment plan. Fill it out. Every expense over $5,000 requires my written approval, signed documentation, or lawyers get involved. Renata's fingers trembled. You're serious, she said. I'm always serious. This isn't about anger. It's about accountability. Actions, not words. You had your chance to be transparent. You didn't. Now face the consequences. Trevor lowered his gaze. Mom, I didn't know. You didn't know, or didn't you ask? You put me at financial risk. Don't tell me you didn't know. Tell me how you're going to fix it. Renata faltered. Trevor lifted his head. We'll correct it. Repayment, oversight, signed approvals from now on. Everything you asked. I slid the final sheet across the desk. Trevor signed. Renata signed, defiance flickering briefly before resignation. Finally, I leaned back. The air was lighter, but tension lingered, a reminder that accountability is earned, not given. Trevor whispered, I'm sorry, Mom, for not seeing it sooner. I didn't respond. Words weren't necessary. Actions now proved who they were. When I left, I realized respect doesn't come from apologies or nods. It comes from accountability. That day, they faced both.